morning
Yes.
because one of the slides said hashtag Tom and Gisele forever. So, Lucy, how are you feeling about that sentiment right about now?
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope that happens. What a time to be a drama expert in Boston, because there is no shortage of it right now. I mean, pick a team, there's drama on it. So I think this Ime Udoka situation is going to be a bigger deal come NBA season. But in Boston, it is all people have been talking about and how it affects the Celtics' futures odds and their future in general, because the players have to be really, really upset right now, and they should be, because this guy betrayed them essentially. I don't believe he will ever coach the Celtics again. How could you bring this guy back after what he did? I think Wyc Grousbeck, Brad Stevens, I think the whole front office and team itself and the people who work for the team feel betrayed, especially because of the way the women were dragged through the mud on Twitter, and because the team cannot release who the woman was, or reports were saying how many women, and that was another damaging thing. So they can't say that. You can't rule out who it is. People speculating things that are not their business. That was a really bad day for Twitter after this story broke. But I think the way the story broke was an issue, and I will say Woj probably should have had the story before he actually reported that something was going on, because the way this was reported was in bits and pieces, and I would say maybe a little sloppy, because he said something, Ime Udoka did something violating organizational guidelines. Okay, what did he do? Everyone's like, what did he do? We go to bed, and the timing of it was stupid too, because you go to bed, you wake up the next morning, you hear what he did, but not exactly. We had no details. We had no details about what he did exactly. So it was really tricky, because then, of course, people are going to speculate. But then they have the press conference and they still really have no details. So we really don't know. We know the bare bones of what happened. He was in a relationship with a woman who, I don't even know what it was. We don't even know what really happened, but there was a woman involved with him in the Celtics organization, and that's really all we know. And all we know also is that Nia Long is very hurt by this and had no idea this was happening. Reports started saying that they had broken up. They had not. She moved to Boston 2 weeks ago with their son, her son with Ime Udoka. And reports now saying the woman who was involved in this was a travel logistics coordinator for the Celtics and was helping to relocate Nia Long throughout this process. But what we do know too is that this was discovered by a Ring camera outside of the woman's home, where she took a call from Ime Udoka, and she is, don't know, married, and the husband heard this on the Ring camera, the conversation, and that's how it was discovered. So it's just a really, really scummy situation all around. And I think attention now turns to, also, we still don't know details, but what the future of the Celtics, what this means for the Celtics, because he's not going to be the coach. He's been suspended for a year now. Will he come back is the question. I don't think so. I very much do not think so. So Joe Mazzulla, I think, is the name of the new coach. And he's got a bit of a sketchy past himself. I believe a DUI is involved in his past. So, I mean, yeah. So I think it'll be fine. So there's a lot of drama around the Celtics currently, but it's not, go Bruins, I guess, because I don't know what else we have right now. We got Mac Jones hobbling off the field. We got the Red Sox just in shambles right now. So it's a good time, just a great time all around.
We're talking with Lucy Burdge, the writer from BetQL, host of Back to the Futures, each Sunday night on BetQL. So, Lucy, number one, I was going to ask you if you were going to continue wearing black. I see that is not the case any longer. So this is a two-part question. What's the reaction there in Boston? And then we can transition to something lighter, which is now you're out of your morning stage.
Yes, I'm out of my morning stage just in time for all these things to happen. No, I'm happy to be wearing colors again because it kind of brings up my mood. But I think the reaction basically is, I would say, confusion and just kind of trying to put pieces together of what's actually going on and what the future holds for the Celtics in terms of what are the players going to, how is this going to affect their play on the court, essentially, I think is what most people care about, along with a lot of the salacious details. But I think once things kind of die down and the story itself blows over essentially for the general public. I know the people involved are going to be hurt for a very long time, and that is awful. That is absolutely terrible. But I think that the general attention now, it turns to like training camp and what happens to the Celtics now, where that is starting very soon, and what happens once the season starts. What they are favored to win the NBA Finals once again. And this is a coach that took them to the finals last season. So the hope was that he could continue on with the success of the Celtics and continue and bring them back to the finals. Now they don't know. We don't know how much is, the coach going to affect what the team is going to do. I mean, Ime Udoka was beloved by all accounts by the players, and turns out he is a big scumbag. So I don't know what's going to happen to the Celtics themselves on the court. And it's just Robert Williams III, like all these things that are happening with the Celtics, that it's in flux. And I think the players are trying to figure out what is going on, because we're all trying to figure out what is exactly going on. But I think the Patriots are doing a great job of taking attention away from this story and Mac Jones, because right now the biggest thing is Mac Jones weaker than Tom Brady? That's really what happened, because the high ankle sprain, I am seeing much, much more of, oh, he's no Tom Brady. Tom Brady would never cry and get carried off the field screaming down the stairs. High ankle sprain, pretty painful. So I think he is doing a great job of taking all the attention away from Ime Udoka right now. No shortage of drama.
Yeah, so looking at that Patriots game, the line 10.5 against the Packers this weekend. 10.5 is a huge spread, but I would imagine that the books are thinking that Mac Jones is either not going to play or play in a very limited regard where he's not 100% healthy. So is there any value in taking the Patriots this weekend?
I would not take the Patriots at all. No. This is okay. So if it's Brian Hoyer time, I appreciate, I love me some Brian Hoyer. I appreciate Brian Hoyer and his longevity, but we have a battle of longest streaks going in the NFL with this game. If Brian Hoyer starts, he has lost 11 consecutive starts from 2006 to 2021, I believe. And so that's the longest streak going in the NFL. The Packers have won their last 14 consecutive home games, I believe. That's also the longest streak going in the NFL. So yeah, that's not going to be super great for the Patriots. So I would take the Packers in this game 100%, unless Brian Hoyer has the game of his life, or Bailey Zappi. I mean, that's what we're at now. Bailey Zappi. Could Bailey Zappi start for the Patriots this season in week 4, people? This is going super duper, just great. So Brian Hoyer it is, everybody. Brian Hoyer time.
Okay, Lucy, we got about 3 minutes here, but there's a lot going on in your world with Tom Brady and Mac Jones and the whole Ime Udoka. So what's going on with your vision board? Are you creating one? Are you thinking about one? What's the latest there? I haven't asked you in a while.
I need one for Aaron Judge to just hit this home run. Like, just hit the 61st home run. Like, just do it. I was kind of hoping, actually, that he would do it against the Red Sox in that big series on Apple TV. That would be, at the Apple TV game would have been ideal, because maybe not as many people would see it. But at this point, it's whatever. Like, just do it. Like, just hit the home run. If he had done it against the Red Sox, fine. Whatever happens to the Red Sox at this point, fine. Like, I'd rain out the rest of the games. If at 2 games that have been shortened by rain or stopped by rain, just do it. Like, just, okay, whatever. I hope for the Maris family, so that they can stop having to travel around and have to just go from game to game, from place to place, that this just finally happens. But what if Aaron Judge never hits a home run in his career again? I don't want this to be the continuing story for the next 10 years or so. So my vision board would be solely just 61. Just do it. Just hit that home run, Aaron Judge, so we can all stop talking about it, so we can all stop thinking about it. That's what the vision board would be, but also maybe for the Lions to win the Super Bowl, because they have covered the last 3 spreads, and it's the first time in 30 years that they have gone 3-0 against the spread. And I'm not going to say it's a coincidence, but I did just start rooting for them. So go Lions.
Well, Lucy, you deserve somebody to root for who is not going to break your heart, because it's been tough times in Boston as of late. We are a long ways away from the Lucy that gave out, the advice on the show that Mac Jones was the next Tom Brady. So your unbridled positivity has taken a hit. And so go Lions. for your regard. And certainly we hope Aaron Judge finally hits home run number 61. She is Lucy Burdge. She is a BetQL writer and host of Back to the Futures each and every Sunday night right here on BetQL. Lucy, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Go Lions.